Okay, so to start off the reading, like I told you, I'm going to ask some cards that represent you. And then we're going to see where you're kind of at right now. Then we're going to go into the questions about your relationship and kind of what you should do from there. So the first card that I pull is going to represent you. The next card that I pull is going to represent your life as it stands currently. And then the next card I'm going to pull is going to represent where you're being guided to. So this is you, the Hanged Man. So when we get the Hanged Man, actually it's supposed to be like this. What that represents is going to be us changing our perspective. So I did pull it actually in reverse. I don't typically read in reverse, but I'll tell you what that means. So Hangman means you need to change your perspective. Hang upside down and look at things from a different point of view. Put yourself into somebody else's shoes. Things might not be what you think they are, but you might be only, reading out of your own pocket. You might be only living your life through your own vision. So try to put yourself in somebody else's perspective and see maybe why those things are going on, or take a really good look at the situation and see if like maybe your ego didn't just get involved. It is right side reverse because you're not doing that right now. You're only really seeing you and your feelings. I think this has to do with the fact that you're very afraid of what can happen in love. You've seen it happen bad. And any little thing, you might be taking it as a sign, or that they're not into you, or a thing where you need to stay away, where it could be something completely else. So try to really step out of yourself and try to relate to the other person and process it from there. This is your life as it stands right now. So it's the Three of Wands. So this card I love because you see he is staring off into the void. He's staring off into the horizon, like envisioning where he wants to go. The world is at his fingertips. He could have whatever he wants. This is you. Right now, it's a key time that you actually just figure out what it is you want and see it happening and only focus on that. This guy knows his focus. He's about to set off on a journey to get his whole entire life changed. You can do that too, but you got to be careful with what you're thinking. You got to be careful of what you're seeing. Right now, you may be manifesting things that you don't want to see. Wands are very powerful. They're the fire. A magic wand. It gets you what you want. But this is a time where you really need to dive in that focus, and don't let those other voices in your head taunt you and set you back, because they really will. You'll start spiraling out, and then you end up manifesting what you don't want. Right now, key thing is manifesting. Picture what you want. Figure it out too. Where you're being guided to. So the Four of Swords. Now, this seems like the guy's in danger, right? So you have 3 swords are coming down. What's going on is there's 4 there, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, they're all coming down on this guy. They come down, they're going to get him. But what you're not realizing is that these swords, they're not even in the same room. Only one is. And that one is going to hit directly onto his helmet. It's going to bounce off because that helmet is such pure gold. He's not in danger. This is the one time where you have to rest. You finally felt like you had that time to rest. You can. You're safe. You're protected. You've been through it all. Don't trip right now. So that's where you're going. You have to get settled with your heart and your mind, because the card before this, just to give you some insight where it's coming from, it's the Three of Swords. So it's a heart and it has 3 stabbings into it. You've been hurt. You've had to deal with it. You're no longer going through that. That's no longer your lifetime. So it's time for you to get rid of that conditioning and move forward with the progress. So the next thing you asked is it worth it for you to continue pursuing this situation? So I'm going to pull cards for you and the relationship and just kind of see where that's at. And we'll gather from there if it's worth it. So pull a card that represents you. Pulling a card that represents him. I'm pulling a card that represents the energy between the two of you. And then pulling a card that represents where you're being guided to. The two of you. So this is you. The Queen of Pentacles. So the way he sees you, the way you see yourself, is a grounded, earthy, woman who has her stuff together. She has got it lined up when it comes to finances, when it comes to the home. She really has a beautiful way, and she's willing to share. That's the way he sees you, and that's the way you see yourself. So I don't see any problem here. This is the way you see him and the way he sees you. It's the 10 of Pentacles. So when he's seeing it with you, he's actually seeing that you guys have it all. You're at the top of your kingdom. You have Pentacles represents like wealth, earth, money, anything material. You guys have everything you want, and you're able to stand in your kingdom and really watch over it. So as far as I can see right now, it's all good. It's a lot of earth, which means that it's very sensible at the same time. So it's not going to be like this passionate, earthquaking love, but it's so beautiful and so structured, and the foundation's there. It's really good so far. This is the energy between the two of you. So I have the Lovers, which it looks like lust, it looks like sex, but this is really just a compassion for one another. Like, you guys really understand each other very well. And that's the reason why you like each other. It's not a lustful situation. It's more so going to be about really having that understanding and getting to know each other. And then this is where you guys are being guided to. So it's the 5 of Swords. Now this is what's throwing me off a little bit. So I'm going to pull 2 more cards for clarity, and I'm going to explain to you what this is meaning. Okay. So what's going on? This is where you guys are being guided to. This can actually be where it's at right now. You feel defeated. You feel a lot of chaos in your mind. Your thoughts, your words, they've actually now taken control of you. Where you thought you had a situation where you were winning, you tricked yourself into thinking you lost. Even though it felt like a win, or should feel like a win. What this is getting at, so as soon as you get control of these thoughts and center yourself and get back to that Queen of Pentacles, things are going to start moving very quickly, very, very quickly, and you're going to have your wishes fulfilled. It's just, you're being guided to this chaos because you need to address whatever's going on with you before these things can happen. So once you address this, you're going to get this. So is it worth it? I would say so. The next one is, you were saying, what should you do about the situation? And then what does love in the future look like for you? So let's just pull what love will look like in the future for the two of you, because I'm pretty sure we kind of got the answer. We'll look at how we need to handle it once we see the future. So I'm going to pull one for you. I'm going to pull one for him. I'm going to pull one for what we need to know most and what's to come. So this is you. It's the Wheel of Fortune, which literally it's the fate card. This was supposed to happen. So yeah, you feel a little topsy-turvy right now because it's a wheel and it's going round, and sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. But you were supposed to meet him. Whatever this is, you were supposed to have it. And you were supposed to feel good. So take it for what it is. Don't overthink. This is fate. This is destiny. Let it play out. This is him. The Ace of Cups. So he's been now, and you have been given this gift of a new beginning when it comes to emotions. And it's very new. It's very unusual, the way that the both of you feel. So take it with strides, but you've been given the gift of emotion, compassion, understanding, love, all of it. The Magician gave it to you both. So still, the future looks good. What we need to know most is the 9 of Swords. So I think what this is saying is that sometimes people can feel trapped in love. Sometimes people can feel bound. Sometimes people can feel like they can't even sleep at night because they're so wound up and they're so anxious. You're never trapped. If you wanted to get out of these binds, you can just cut them. You're not trapped. Don't feel like you're trapped. He doesn't need to feel like he's trapped. Go about it a little bit looser, maybe. of how you feel, trust a little bit more, and you tend to not feel this binding. And then this is what is to come. So it's the Four of Cups. And this just means don't take any situation for granted. You know, don't deny a situation just because you think it's for the best. Don't not speak because you're waiting to see if he's speaking to you. Don't take it for granted. Appreciate every moment and every step of the way, because when we don't appreciate, we lose things. So this is letting you know, like, just really be appreciative and mindful of the situation you have. I'm not exactly sure what's completely going on with the two of you. I know, kind of sensed like a difference, but from me, I feel like it's good. I'm gonna get a card that just kind of tells us what your next step should be when it comes to him. And it was the Three of Cups. So to me, this is like, even when it's raining, even when it's not seeming so good, you need to celebrate. You need to really appreciate and celebrate the love that you have. Dance in the rain if it's raining instead of throwing a fit. That's what your next move is. Like, you know, just kind of be his happiness, because he could be going through something right now. So when he's around you, try to just be light, and he should do the same for you. I'm going to pull one last card that is kind of just going to wrap up the whole reading of the message that you need to know. The Two of Pentacles. So you have a choice right now. There's one or the other. If you want to go for it, put everything into it. If you don't, you choose the other route. But you have to make a choice, and you can't think that it's not going to work. It's not going to be a thing. You just have to go for it and put all your efforts into your choice. Okay? Well, I hope this helps.